I always think that things go back to family of origin stuff. And my dad had a small mom and pop grocery store back when they had charge accounts for individual customers. There were no credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched him serve his customers, which were his neighbors and his friends. And I watched how he treated them. And that kind of formed it, as well as my mother, who came from a very large family of actually 14 children, 11 of them who survived and came to the United States. And so I watched how they got along with each other and what they did. So I think a lot of it is family of origin. It fit my personality. I was kind of the third born of our family by a long shot. My brother was 10 years older. My sister was 14 years older. And my dad was 50 when I was born. So I could do no wrong, so to speak. And there was a kindness about that and a support about that. I mean, there were things that weren't so good, but most of the things were good.
Sure. So the way that he was treating his friends, his neighbors, with these charge accounts, what did you take with you on your journey throughout your career?
I'll give you a little story. I was about 8 or 9 years old. I used to go to the store every day after school. And as my dad was ringing somebody up on the cash register, it wasn't even a cash register. It was a hand crank adding machine. It had 10 buttons across, 10 buttons down, and that's what he'd do. And then he'd take that piece of tape and attach it to their little booklet it was a charge account. So he said to me, "Howard, go get me a couple of baskets of strawberries or bananas." I can't remember what it was now. And I did, and I brought them up, and my dad just put them in the customer's bag, and the customer walked out. I was old enough to understand that he hadn't rung those up on the cash register because there was no bing, You know how it went bing when you pulled the crank? Yeah. And he just looked at me, he said, "Son, not everything we do in life do we need to get paid for. Sometimes we just do things to help other people." And I happen to know these people are, right now can't afford to buy fresh fruit. And it was just my way of saying thank you. And so, I never thought too much about that, but it's so true. Not everything we do in life do we need to get paid for. We don't need to get trophies for things that we do. We don't need to get recognized. We do them because we want to do them. And he was about serving others, and that's who he was as a person.